So what we could say then is that these fellas have already taken off. The camera on the rover is being remotely controlled from Houston, that's what they're telling us. And then all of a sudden, the camera is turning around, it's going up and it's down, then it's turning sideways, it comes across, all of a sudden, the dish bounces out of nowhere, and now we can see the LNA feed in the dish. And the dish bounces. So how did the dish bounce when there's nobody there and the dish is solidly fixed to that rover?
Yeah, well, that's an unusual thing for it to happen. Why don't we have a look at the Apollo 17 as it pans across over top?
So now we're taking a look at the Apollo 17 rover, and it is now being remotely controlled because they have now left, taken off. The ascent stage is gone. When the fella at Houston remotely controls the camera, it just goes down to this tripod. Well, what the heck's that doing there?
I don't know how that could be the antenna or anything else. You can see just at the very top where the fender is there and the angle of the sun.
Okay, so what the heck's this?
What the heck is that? It's not the antenna. It's a gigantic tripod.
Yeah, there's no fork in the rover here. There's no tripod there, so...
It can't be shooting that.
As it's traveling across, and now it's coming down.
Camera's in the front, over the right front fender, and that's what it's doing when it's looking down. The antenna is behind it, and when you pull that picture of that rover back up again, you'll see where the antenna actually sits. This is out in front of it, fully in front of the rover. This is where the shadow is, and the antenna could not put that shadow out there because the antenna is basically beside where the camera sits. If it's going to show a picture of the antenna, it would be just over top of the fender when it's showing the fender. This is well out in front.
Well, there's nothing there. So what's this doing there?
We've got this picture here, and this is one of the ones that is also considered one of the final resting spots here. Now, here's the next picture. You notice it hasn't moved. See all the footprints around? Has not moved. See the shadow off the tire? See the tracks are there? Nothing else has moved on here. The shadow's coming off the back of that. The shadow of the astronaut is coming straight back along there.
Oh, they've moved right out to the side now.
Absolutely could not possibly do that. It's at least 80-degree difference from there to there. Look at that. Everything's right along there, just fine, moving to the back. The very next picture is this. So again, the sun would have to move 180 degrees from this picture. Absolutely impossible, right?
Let's have a look at the Apollo 17 takeoff. And there you can see it pitching over.
It's pitching over, so you should see the rover.
Last but not least, let us review the liftoff sequence of the Apollo 17 LM as it ascends from the set surface.
Once again, Robert, it's not a set. There is no set surface. It's the lunar surface, and it's the real one, 53 years after the event, and no one has ever proven otherwise, and they never will.
What do you think is going to occur this time? will we get to view the pitch-over maneuver captured by one camera mounted on the rover?
Let's take a look at the position of the Apollo 17 lunar rover in its final parking spot in relation to the lunar module. When the A-17LM lifts off, it will travel as shown by the red arrow, away from where the lunar rover is parked.
At this point in the video, with the camera solidly mounted at an angle in the window, we should clearly see the rover along with the horizon in the back as the camera on the rover at the same time captures the pitch over of the LM.
Now, if that's the complete video of the thing, the rover camera pans across, then it pans down, and then it pans back across to the left, and it picks up a very large object. The shadow of an object on the ground that can't be there. And when it's looking down, there's the fender. There's the front tire for the fender, and then that's way the hell out there. And we know which direction the shadow is pointing, and that's got to be in front of the rover. It's not on the rover. Can't be anything mounted on the rover. And I've seen photographs of the rovers pointing straight at the limb, its final resting spot. That is sideways to the limb. And it doesn't matter, you're not going to see anything else out there because you're looking in front of the rover itself. So nothing mounted on the rover would be visible as a shadow. That's the biggest thing.